It's your boy, Amreezy, and I'm back with another Road to Sorare Boss episode where we follow my journey in the wonderful world of Sorare and I show you what I'm doing, talk about Sorare. You can jump in the comments, let me know what you're doing in Sorare. Any tips you've got for me, always appreciated. We've always taken those tips to heart. This last season just got in Sorare, so we hope those keep coming next season. And where we are in the world of Sorare is it's still the pre-season. It's still the summer break before the European seasons resume. And I kind of want to just do a quick video this week. I'm doing my videos a little bit less often. Usually when the European seasons are back, it's once a week. You know your boy Amreezy. Every Thursday, Road to Sorare Boss episodes come out. We have a lot of fun. We're slowing them down lately, but we're still doing them. Regular reports like this one. So it'll be a shorter video this week. But I just want to say what I'm doing in Sorare, what I've done since the last week. Last week's video was before the Club World Cup started. It was like 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, I think. Bought myself a summer edition card, explained why, all of that stuff. This week, I'm going to be showing you what I've done with that card and the quiet period I'm having. Because here's what I think. Everything I see about Sorare, everything I consume about Sorare out there at the moment is either people complaining, saying they hate Sorare, Sorare's dead, Sorare Classic's dead, all of this stuff, or it's like huge accounts who did a bit of complaining, but they're still buying cards, trading cards, getting super rare cards, getting all of these cards still, winning. You know, I'm seeing a lot of people winning in MLS, winning in Japan, winning in all these other leagues that are still on at the moment. So I think in balance, if you like my kind of content, you've been watching my Sorare videos for a while, you know that I play a little bit more controlled, restrained. I don't splash thousands of pounds or dollars every summer. I do play on a little bit of a budget, and that's going to be the same this season coming up. So I want to show you what I'm doing in full balance. So, you know, maybe you're watching this and you're a Sorare manager and you've only got a few cards and you're playing a little bit like me, and maybe you're seeing everything out there and you're kind of feeling a bit bad that, like, why aren't I playing lots of lineups every week? Why am I not winning cash prizes like everyone else? Why am I not panicking like everyone else? So in full balance, here's a considered Sorare player and here's what I'm doing, okay? I'm still having fun. I'm not checking Sorare every day like I used to, checking the market, looking for in-season bargains. I'm just going slowly, casually, going through my cards, selling off a few cards where I can, because Classic is going to change. But I still think Classic's going to be useful. It's still going to be fun. So you're still going to need Classic cards. So let's begin there. Let me just show you what I'm doing with my Sorare gallery. The gentle life from a gentle Sorare manager's point of view. A tranquil, calm, not hectic, not busy, no loads of cash prizes being won, but just what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing. Okay, here we are in the homepage of Sorare, in what is a calm manager, a manager that isn't panicking. It just has fun with Sorare, light-hearted fun. This is what we're doing, okay? So last video was before the Club World Cup started, and I told you I bought myself a Tchouameni card from Real Madrid, a summer edition for the Club World Cup, so that I can play in the Coliseum and the arena. And I was quite optimistic about the strategy of just getting one card and kind of basically putting Chelsea cards around him. With maybe I've got a Trent Alexander-Arnold and I've got Foden. So my strategy was, I've got a good feeling about Chelsea. They've just won a European Cup. Mood's going to be high. And I've got my Tchouameni card from Real Madrid, and I got him half price with credits. And I thought, you know, he's going to be a key player for Xabi Alonso. The way Real Madrid are going to play, Tchouameni's going to be holding that midfield. He's going to be a great player this season. I still think that. But what I didn't quite count on is how tired Chelsea would be, how exhausted the players would look, and how uninspired Chelsea would actually be in this cup. So I've changed my strategy. I don't think Chelsea's going to be as good as I once thought. I just think they're tired. They need a rest. They're going to rotate the squad really heavily, try and keep everyone fresh, and then just keep everyone fit for preseason, then next year's Premier League. So I don't think that strategy is going to work. I don't think I have a gallery that's serious enough to compete with what I'm seeing other people win in the arena and Coliseum. So with that in mind, I sold my Tchouameni card. Where can I see the card? It won't be in here anymore, will it? We sold it. I'll just tell you. I sold it, okay? I sold it. I bought him for like £23. This might even be the one that I sold. No. So this is currently on the market for £21. So I bought mine for like £23 from auction. It was like the second card that got released, and I got it for half price. So I paid like £11 for my Too Many card. And he's on the market like a normal version for like £6 something, but you pay extra because you want to play in these Club World Cup competitions. I then sold it for £20. I sold it yesterday for £20. So if you include the market credits, I bought it before the Club World Cup for £11 something. Waited a few weeks until I could sell it again. You have to wait 14 days after you buy a card from market credits so that you can then sell it. I then sold it, and this was always my strategy. If he does well in the Club World Cup, I'll be able to sell it if Chelsea get knocked out, because I always assumed Chelsea aren't going to get to like the semi-final, quarter-final, maybe final, but they'll get knocked out. There'll be a time when I don't have any Chelsea players to play. I have my Real Madrid card, and maybe I could sell him. That has ended up happening slightly earlier than I thought, so I've cashed in on him while I can. So I bought it for £11, sold it for £20. That's profit for me. Now, I wonder if it's this one. Now, I'm seeing him. You can buy him now for £16 on the market. So I'm glad that I sold it for £20, because I can see here. You know what? This might be the way to do it. This might be the way to do it. Let's pop into his dashboard. I still think he's going to be an amazing player next season, and I'm kind of scouting the market at the moment to buy a classic card at much cheaper than the summer edition card, just because I think he'll be a fun card next year. Everyone will buy Bellingham, Mbappe, Vinicius, all the big names, but Tchouaméni might go under the radar and in the Club World Cup, he started off with an assist in both games. So I've been able to sell on that kind of hype. But if we go to sales history, if we go to in season, I guess it's currently still. So public offers. Now, some of these are the classic version, so we can't get distracted by the classic. These are all the classic edition cards, but I think this is me. I think this is my card. Yeah, that's my card 13 hours ago. That was yesterday. Here we go. So I bought it for £23, but that was market credits. So I paid half of that. And then I sold him for £20 and 12p to Grey FC. So I've cashed out of the Club World Cup arena things. I've got a little bit of profit because the card I bought, I sold for more. So I'm considering it a win. And we'll just keep playing our few lineups in this competition, which is the Club World Cup, the general one, where you can play classic or in season. So and there's no cap limit on that, so I can play all my best Chelsea cards in that. Still have a little bit of fun with the Club World Cup, but I'm not now playing the Arena and Colosseum. So the fun has gone down massively, but I made a little bit of money. And what I'm doing with the money is I'm saving it for Premier League in season when they come back. I'm very excited about that. That's my strategy. I've been basically going through my gallery and just trimming it wherever I can and bringing in cards that help with my collections. So I understand a lot of people are saying, oh, collections aren't going to be important because you can just get a bonus for playing cards from different clubs next year. Yes, but you can still play, say, if you have a lot of Tigres cards, if you play just 2 of them, you can still get the bonus on your cards already and then get the extra bonus for not playing too many Tigres cards in one lineup. So I don't quite get why people are suddenly off collections. Also, I think it's fun. That's what I like doing. Like I said, I am not a massive whale Sorare account. So the way I like to play is just slowly build these lineups, slowly build my collections, and then make sure the collections have some useful cards in there that can play next year. So the last video I showed you I bought was Sanchez, the Chelsea goalkeeper. And look, all of these cards I've bought, I'm not buying them. I'm saving my money for Premier League in season. I'm selling all of the in-season cards that I had from last year that don't fit my collections. For example, Zirkzee, Manchester United striker. I had him. I won him as a reward. I don't have any other Manchester United cards from that collection, so I thought sell him for about £2 or £3. It's better than nothing. And he's kind of... Also, I'm going to have fun with Classic next year. You can pick 7 lineup cards. So I'm thinking I do want some Classic cards that are going to play. So I've got these lineups like Deportivo Alaves. Yeah, they're not going to be great most weeks, but when they have a good fixture, and if they've got some momentum, and I know who the best players from that team are, they might be playing bottom of the league team one week. That's when I'll play like 3 or 4 of them. And then what I kind of like about the mixed thing is you can play Mexican cards with Premier League cards again. We're back to kind of how it used to be with the Captain All-Star Leagues. Now Classic might be like that because they're not going to have the regional specific competitions. It could still be fun, mixing cards from like Spain and Mexico. And people are saying like, oh, if you have a team like Wolves, they're not going to be useful anymore because you were hoping on their day they have a great fixture and you're playing against 20 other teams in the Premier League only. Now, when they're competing against everyone else, they're not going to have their day. However, they're still going to have their day. It's going to be more competitive because you're playing against more people from different leagues. But we don't know how the competitions are going to look like. Say you're only matched with like 1,000 other players instead of 10,000 other players. You might have more of a chance of winning because you're playing against less people. Or maybe the prize pool in Classic will be bigger. So you might not win a card, but you might win Essence. Say you win 2 weeks in a row of Essence, you can then craft the card. So I'm kind of hopeful Sorare's still going to make it useful to have Classic cards. So then I'm thinking you got to get your galleries in order, make sure you got your collections piece, and that takes time. Like picking up these kind of cards, they're not exciting, but for me, it's slowly building my lineup. So I picked up these 2 Deportivo Alaves cards because once they've been there for 30 days, I'll now have 5% Deportivo Alaves collection here. So I was only 20 off. So when these 2 cards, I've owned them for, is it 90 days or 30? I think it's 90 days. When I've owned them for a certain amount of time, that collection will eventually hit 5%. And I've got everyone from that collection. And I really enjoy it. I really have enjoyed watching Deportivo Alaves. It still will be fun. And I think Sorare will introduce, like, there'll be random weeks where there'll be a capped competition, a special Classic capped competition where everyone under 250. That's when teams like Wolves, Deportivo Alaves, that's when those collections I think can still be useful and fun because you'll be like, oh, great, I can finally play my Deportivo Alaves. They've not been that competitive in the SO7 Sorare Classic League, but maybe they'll be competitive in a capped league, for example. So with all of this in mind, I've been just looking at my main collections, which are probably everyone 2% and above. So Fulham, not so much. Although even with Fulham, I'm looking at them going, I'm only 40 away. If I get 2 cards, I'll get that to 2%. And I think that's what Classic will be for me now. I'm selling everyone who's not part of a collection. And I'm keeping all of these collections and adding to them. And the way I'm adding to them is making weird little trades that no one probably thinks about. Like this guy, Musa Diarra, I can't remember what I did with him. I traded him for 2 cards worth 30p that literally I couldn't sell. Haven't been able to sell these guys, but I am able to trade them. And this guy, Musa Diarra, he's 23 years old, defender at Alaves, maybe moves, maybe becomes, under 23 cards still. So these are the kind of moves I'm doing. This guy, Thomas Chesney, helps with my collection, gets it to 5%. Again, traded 2 cards worth of about the same price. So people are... If you've got cards worth 30p that you can't sell, go find a card that is worth 30p that you want, that helps with your collection, and maybe give 2 30p cards for a 30p card that you want. That's kind of how I'm seeing it. This goalkeeper, I think, was a nice bit of business because Van der Voort should be a classic, well, I don't know if you can call it classic, Bundesliga starting goalkeeper next year for Leipzig. So, should be a good card. I got him by trading him for, drumroll please, Savinho at Manchester City. Now, look, floor price £6.71. His floor price is £8.63. So I think I did a good trade there. No cash involved. However, I did this a few days ago when Man City were doing well in the Club World Cup. 7 days ago I did this. And his price was higher because people wanted him for the Club World Cup. And I think also his summer edition card was distorting the floor price. So keep an eye out on that. If you've got a guy who's at the Club World Cup, but you've not got the summer edition card, like I had with Savio, put him out there for a few trades because the floor price is being inflated because of his Club World Cup price not fairly showing that. I think now his price has come down. This was like £21, it said, like his floor price was. So I think the seller maybe thought, oh great, £21 floor price. Van der Voort's floor price was like £7 when I got this card. And now I think this is a more fair reflection. So if you've got any cards who are in the Club World Cup, just be optimistic. Try trading them away like I did with this. And now I've got a goalkeeper for those classic lineups. So I think that, and he's 22 years old. So I think that's a good trade. This guy, Connor Coventry, again, I've got a West Ham collection. This will now push it to 4%. And how did I get him? I got him by trade. Look, straight up one swap. A Pintando is worth 35p floor price. him 35p. And he's got a red cross because he was in League One last year with Charlton. They've got promoted. They're going to be in the Championship next year, so he should actually be Sorare covered in the next season. So these are the kind of trades that I'm doing, and these are the kind of trades I'm looking to do. I'm looking at my collections and I'm going, okay, these guys are going to be at 5%. Don't need to worry about getting any more of those. My Nottingham Forest collection is at 4%, but it's like a long way off 5%. So I might just keep that at 4%. I've filled this collection. Monaco is in the same position. And this is why I'm liking Classic. I've got players like Biereth at Monaco. Monaco's defense. Monaco's goalkeeper. Monaco are rumored to be signing Paul Pogba and Ansu Fati this summer. They could be two really exciting signings for Monaco. They could both do really well in the French league. Monaco could finish second next year, could win all their games except for against PSG. And I've got a huge Monaco Classic collection. If I add a few more Classic cards, like Fati, maybe a Pogba, then I've got the complete Monaco collection. And if they have a good season, there'll be weeks when they have a nice fixture against bottom of the table team in France. They're high flying. They're in the Champions League. I can play them in Classic Champions League still. So that's my thinking. But again, I don't need to add many Monaco cards because I've got it to 4% and I'm a long way off 5%. So I'm not doing that. West Ham, I've got that one card that I just showed you. I'm 10% off. He'll get this to 4%. Barcelona, I'm 40 off a 4% collection here. So this is one that I am looking at actively going, where do I want? Now, obviously, I'd like Pedri and I'd like Lamar. They're the two best players. However, they're the two most expensive cards. So I'm kind of weighing up, is it worth getting these guys? I'm trying to do big trades with cards for these guys. Like take all of my rare cards, which are worth like £30, and I'll pay a bit of cash for Pedri. I'm doing things like that, waiting for the right buyer to kind of see value in what I can offer and what they want to give. So, and then I might just pick up someone like this, Padre Torre for £1.77, Hector Fort for £2.13, maybe the backup goalkeeper Pena in case he moves. There's rumours he might move. Chesney maybe stays on the bench, gets a couple of games next year, £3. So I'm gonna add maybe 2 of these cards to this collection. So what I want to say with this week's video is I'm not really playing seriously. My playing is not going to get serious until the European seasons resume, but I'm still having fun checking on the market. And if you're watching this and you're a sensible Sorare player, not even sensible, just a cautious Sorare player like me, and you're not throwing money into MLS and J League right now and playing those kind of competitions, it's still fun. I'm just here to tell you, don't worry if you're not winning anything. Don't worry if you're not playing lineups right now and you're just slowly doing trades. That's what I'm doing and I'm having fun. And that's what Sorare is for me. If you're still having fun with it, it's still worth it for me. And then when the Premier League season comes back, the European season comes back, we look to go in season and Premier League, La Liga, and see if we can win some cash again like we did last season and have fun with it. So that's what I'm doing right now. We still don't know all the details about Sorare, how the Classic's going to look, how SO7 is going to look, what the rewards are going to be like. So until that point, I just think Classic cards will still be useful. So get your galleries in shape. Trim all the cards you can now. Get all the money you can for in-season. This is what I'm doing. Getting all the money I can from Classic cards. £2, £3 here and there. Getting that for in-season, but for my in-season transfer budget for next year. Next season, not even next year. Like literally a month. In a month's time, we might be buying Premier League cards. So I've got my money ready for that. I've got £122 right now. You can see it here, just peeking out the bottom left corner. I've got £122 in the bank. Thank you if anyone who's signing up to play Sorare using my link. Thank you. I've got a potential person who's signed up to Sorare. Maybe they're going to use my link and I might get some credits to help me with those Premier League in-season cards in August. So that's kind of another strategy for me, being patient, not buying cards now, waiting to use credits later on. And that's what I'm doing. Let me know if you think I'm crazy. If you go, Amreezy, you're missing out on MLS. You're missing out on these K-League cards right now that are smashing. Or what you're doing, Amreezy, sell all your collections. You might make some even more money and then buy more in-season cards with it. Let me know what you think. That's what I'm doing. Stay calm. Have fun. Play Sorare. That's my mantra. Hope you've enjoyed this Sorare video. There probably won't be one next week because we're not doing them weekly like we usually do during this off-season period. But don't worry, they'll be ramped back up when real football's back. So, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, all of that good stuff. I'll see you next Sorare time. Peace.